Are we rolling?
Yes.
We're rolling on location at the comic strip with the one and only Paul Mercurio.
That's
How you
right.
doing?
I'm good, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing great. I thank you, so much.
Did you grow since the last time I saw you? You seem taller.
I hope I did. If not, there's a problem, I think. I've been working on it.
How old are you?
I'm 20 now.
Oh, Jesus.
I think the last time we did the podcast, I was 17, probably.
You were?
Yeah, I don't think I was drinking age here.
No, you weren't, but we did shots anyway, and then I got arrested.
Yeah, exactly.
Child endangerment.
It was all
I don't
Paul.
like that guy with the camera over there. I don't trust him.
See, like you can see a difference between the two cameras.
It's obviously down jacket night on the crew because we got the blue and then we got the rust. I like the rust.
That's blood and Crip, actually.
There you go. Wow, that was racist because that one guy's black. All right, anyway.
Yeah, that definitely intensified things. So, Paul, listen, I thought you had credits the last time we did an interview. Holy smokes, man. You've been going absolutely insane. You're like a machine. You're working on the Stephen Colbert Show.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that experience and how it came about for you.
I used to buy Stephen Blow, and he's like, "You want a job?" I'm like, "Okay," and then I gave it to him for free. No, we worked together on I worked on the Daily Show. It's even before Jon Stewart came on board. It was one of the original writers performers on that show, and Steve and I became friendly on that show. And then I worked on the Colbert Report and the Late Show, and yeah, it's been great. I perform on the show, and do the warm up, and like it's been just as fun, and he and I go way back, and there's a bunch of people that work on the show that have been on the show together for a long time. So,
Okay.
like, it's kind of like a little bit of a family. And then the last 6-7 months, I've been doing a one-man show on Broadway.
Right.
Yeah.
That started in July, correct?
Yeah, it's called Permission to Speak, and it's still going. It's like, in my stand-up, I like to talk to people, maybe bring them on stage even, and this is an extension of that, but it's a theater show. It's not a stand-up show, and it's people just talking about their lives and what's going on, and and just incredible stories. Like we had this one couple; they were like 70 years old, and then I said, "How long have you been married?" They go, "A year," and everybody claps like, "Oh."
Yeah.
And I said, "How'd you meet?" And the woman goes, "Spankme.com," and everybody laughs, thinking she's joking. She goes, "No, I'm serious." And I go, the guy goes, "Yeah, we have a very open marriage. We don't have no inhibitions." And she goes, "Yeah, I was looking for a dom, and he was looking for a sub, and we met on this website, and we started to role play, and one thing led to another. We fell in love. We just eloped." And they literally look like your aunt and uncle. Like
Really?
Yeah, like
You wouldn't expect it.
the package never matches the story. There's another woman, 75 or so, dressed like $1 million, like right off her like Fifth Avenue, right?
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, you look like you drink martinis every day." She goes, "Oh, I drink martinis, I smoke pot, and I drop acid once a week."
Oh,
Right? I'm like, "What?" She goes, "Yeah." She goes, "I was a wild child in the 60s. I was 18, 19. I was doing acid, couch surfing with friends in California." And then she goes, "One day, I got an epiphany. I was like 19." She goes, and I said, "I'm going to go out and buy 1,000 tabs of acid, and I'm going to go down to Mexico, and I'm going to turn everybody on to acid and change their lives." And I go, "What happened?" She goes, "Well, I went and I bought the acid. I went to Mexico, and I looked around, and I realized they need more than acid. Right now, they need food and water."
Yeah, seriously.
So-
Some of the essentials first,
Exactly.
maybe.
So I'm like, "So what'd you do with the acid?" She goes, "I took it. What do you think?" Like, so it's been really cool. So if
Yeah.
anybody's in the New York area, show's called Permission to Speak. And you go to telecharge.com, you get tickets, and we're going right now. And it's a storytelling show where audience members. It's completely improvised. Nothing's planned, but there are other things that happen in the show. I'm really proud of it. So it's cool. Yeah.
That sounds fantastic,
Yeah,
man.
it's really cool.
What was the process like getting a show like this onto Broadway?
It's a lot. It's a
Yeah.
good question. You should do this for a living. And, you got to find the venue. You've got to market it. You've got to come up with materials. You've got to build a set. It's just a lot. It's not like doing stand-up where you walk into a club and everything's kind of set for you and you just walk on stage and do your show. You have to, create the thing
Yeah.
and then perform it as well. So it's like a lot. So you're always going to sleep thinking about it, and you're always waking up thinking about it,
Definitely.
But it's been really cool because it's like different kind of thing than stand up. So it's nice to kind of exercise a different kind of muscle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Keep yourself fresh.
Yeah.
And how is that in contrast to the warm-up shows with Colbert? I know you perform on the show and you do warm-up.
Yeah.
For people who might not know, what's that process like when you go as an audience member to a television taping like that?
So we do shots of tequila, and then I just go out and act like an idiot. No, people go in, and the warm-up's really important because it gets you're doing an audience taping, and these late night shows don't have laugh tracks like some sitcoms. So you got to get that audience to understand in 15 minutes. We need you laughing and energized and whatever. You can't just sit and kind of watch it like you might at home. You got to be part of it. So you got to go out, and there's like 4 or 5 things have to happen at the same time. They need to understand that it's a taping, that they're going to be on camera, that they're going to be part of it, that they need to vocalize loudly in a big space, so that people at home really get like impacted by their enthusiasm. And then you just got to be flat out funny and get them laughing, all in like 15 minutes.
Wow.
And that really sets the tone for the night. And I know, as a performer on the shows myself, and as somebody who's written on shows, if you could work all day on the show, and if the audience isn't great, those jokes that look like they're great on paper don't come off great.
Not going to fly.
And people at home aren't going, oh, that theoretically was a great joke. It was just the audience. They're just going to go, oh, the show sucked. It wasn't funny.
Right.
Because we are very influenced by other people laughing. Their laughter in the audience leads us, which is why some sitcoms that aren't very good use laugh tracks, because it's a trick to like get the audience to think, oh, that was a funny joke. No, it wasn't a funny joke. It was a shitty joke with a laugh track underneath it to try to cover for the poor writing. So if the audience isn't good for a show like a late night show, like the Colbert Show or Tonight Show or whatever it might be, which are called live to tape. Those are taped about 5:30 in the afternoon, but it's taped as though it's live. Mm-hmm. If that audience isn't good, no matter how great the material is on paper, it's going to look bad. You know? Right. So
it sounds like it's an incredibly difficult job.
It's difficult, and not because I do it, but only because I've been on the other side of it as a writer. It's one of the critical jobs on a TV show like that, because you can go all day and have a great show on paper, and then if it looks like it sucks, they don't laugh, the show looks bad, and then the ratings are bad. So it really is like, it's just important for a lot of different reasons. Also for the guests, like if a guest comes on and they don't have a good time because the audience is tight, their publicists who have other big guests that they represent, they don't bring those people in. Yeah. It can really have a ripple effect. It's like the last important thing that has to happen in the show before the taping. Right. So it's a really critical step in a process of many critical steps, but that's like an important one, you know. So
okay, super interesting, man. I appreciate the insight on that. Right before we wrap up, I am curious, you do a ton of appearances on worldwide news broadcasting, CNN, Fox, the list goes on and on. What's that process like, and what's it like jumping between networks, because they don't all exactly get along, but they have you on? That's one common thing they have.
Question. Well, basically the process is they'll give you topics ahead of time, so you kind of go in prepared, and I'm trying to be funny with the topics, but also make a point. So you need to write, whereas if you're just a straight commentator, you don't have to worry about the comedy, so you don't have to write jokes. So it's like, so there's that part of it. And, you know, Fox is very right. So if you come on and you say something left-leaning, you're going to be like a punching bag, but that's okay, because you should have somebody with left-leaning positions go on, and people should hear every side of an argument. Same thing on CNN, MSNBC. If you're a right-leaning person, you're going to kind of be in the crosshairs. Right. So the problem is it's so divisive now that people don't really want to hear the other side of it. They just, either you believe in their candidate and their views, or you don't. And if you don't, you're the bad guy and you're evil. Right. And we're in a bad place, I think. It's very divisive, and I think we got to find some more middle ground, you know. And that's kind of what my one-man show is about, sort of, is connecting. But the theme is everybody has a story, and if we talk, we connect, and if we connect, maybe things are a little bit better, you know. So, especially now, and especially in the current political environment, like, nobody has a sense of humor about their own candidate, and that's not a good thing.
Exactly. That must make it a lot more difficult to do something like that.
It is, yeah. And even in your stand-up, if you want to make some references to certain issues or whatever, everybody just gets like super uptight. And it's like, you know, just have a sense of humor about you.
Seriously.
A little bit, you know what I mean? So,
just relax a little bit. Well, I think that's a great way to end the interview. Paul, I thank you so much for your time.
It's great to see you.
Definitely. Have a
Stop
great show.
growing. You're taller than I am. It's annoying.
I'll try.
All right.